Hi, welcome to History 110. This is Professor Sabula. I wasn't going to do this, but there's been some confusion the first week. I thought I'd record a simple video telling you about what I expect from the class. I'm going over this handy document, the syllabus. Same sort of thing I do in any class at the beginning of the course. So this is History 110. The idea of the class is that it's a basic survey of American history. It's everything that's happened from Columbus to Obama, or as much of it as we can fit in 10 weeks, which is not a lot considering how much there is. So we move really fast in this course. There's a lot of material to cover. I don't expect you to get super fine detail about everything, but I expect you to know the major themes. So let's go over the syllabus, so in the course objectives and all that sort of thing. Required readings. I'm doing something a little bit different this quarter, and that's that all of the readings assigned for this class are free and online. In the past, I've always taught out of textbooks. Some are pretty good, some are terrible. They are all tremendously expensive, and they're not expensive for any good reason. You guys probably hate textbook companies. What you probably don't know is that your professors hate them more, because we see perfectly well that they're ripping you off, but we're caught in the system ourselves. Well, not this quarter. There's finally a pretty good free American history textbook online out there. It's called American Yawp. The course will be built around that, and built around some other free resources I've become aware of over the years. So every week, the course is divided into modules. A module is a week. You can use the words interchangeably. 10 weeks, 10 modules. Each module will cover a period of American history. Each module you will have two basic assignments. One is to participate in the discussion board. We're just sort of getting geared up there, but I'll expect more from you by the second module. I'll put out a few feeder questions, but basically I expect you guys to generate and have a conversation. How do you discuss the readings? First of all, you don't have to have done all the readings to discuss something. Find something you find interesting. Maybe jump ahead a little bit and make a comment on it. Sometimes you'll have a question, something is not quite clear to you. That makes a really good discussion starter also. So go in there, start a discussion. There's 40 of you, so it's probably too many for one discussion board. In a week or two, I'll start dividing you up into maybe 2 groups, maybe 3, something like that. So every week, get in there as you're reading and discuss a little bit. Make sure you start at least one post. Make sure you respond to a couple other people's posts. A good discussion post is something that gets the conversation going. And a hint, that's a lot easier to do if you post early in the week than if you post at the last minute. So early every week, read something. Go in there, talk about it. I also want to see you responding to other people's posts. I want to see you having a good discussion. Some of the things we read will be controversial, or they may contradict things you thought you knew about American history. That's great. Some things in the textbook you might object to or have a different point of view. That's fine too, but I did assign the textbook because I think it's mostly correct after all. So be careful with that. You may disagree very much with other students. That's the best thing of all, as long as you keep it polite. And keep it fact-based. A good discussion is based on the facts. I read such and such on this page of American Yawp, and it made me wonder about this other thing I read here. Be specific, include chunks of quotes, stuff like that. The other assignment you'll do every week, and it's kind of an experiment in this class, we'll see how it goes, is the letter to a child assignment. I've taught online for, close to 15 years now. I was one of the first people to start doing it. And I discovered that frequent assignments are absolutely essential. It's not enough just to have a final at the end of the class. Nobody will do anything. Everybody will freak out and they'll all fail the final. So I think some sort of weekly accountability thing to make sure you keep up with the readings is essential. In the past, what I've done is had multiple choice quizzes. You go in there, you get you have it's timed, so you don't have time to go look everything up, and you answer the questions. That worked okay with a printed textbook. I'm still not crazy about multiple choice, but it worked okay because students learned pretty quickly. If they had 10 minutes for 10 questions, they couldn't look up every answer. They had to know most of them. And then they'd go through and answer the ones they knew, and if they had a minute or two left, maybe look up a couple more. With an online textbook, it opens up the possibility of Control F, find, and look up things as they come. And if it just becomes more like a worksheet, filling out the blanks rather than reading, I don't see any point in that. That's a high school assignment, it's not a college assignment. So instead, I'm giving you this option to write about the assignments each week. And the way I framed it is a letter to a child. Now, what do I expect from those? Because it's new, I'm a little bit uncertain myself here. What I expect you to do is I want it to fill the same function of the weekly quiz, to prove to me that you're doing the readings. So if your letter to child about the American Revolution says, American Revolution, Americans were pissed off and they had enough, so they had a revolution. I don't think you do the reading, and you won't get a good grade. On the other hand, if you say the American Revolution, Stamp Act, this, that, the other thing, but what's really important is so-and-so, that's great. It's a letter, and you're writing to a child, not a little child. Think of, I don't know, a smart middle schooler, something like that. I don't expect you to rewrite the textbook. I expect you to find some of the things you think are most important, and what's most important to me is you talk about them with some details. Make it clear you've done the reading. And not just the textbook, draw some stuff in from other things. You're not going to be able to discuss every part of the textbook, that's fine. You're not going to be able to discuss maybe every chapter sometimes, that's fine. But give me a nice detailed thing, and it's okay to have opinions. Don't make it dry like an encyclopedia article or something. You're going to put the damn kid to sleep. Have opinions, read about it, tell them what you think is most interesting. That's fine. So those are 2 assignments you'll do every week. There'll also be the opportunity, starting in week 2, to do a short historical essay. My plan is to give you 6 opportunities to do these essays. So far, here's the ones I have that I have set up and will be releasing on you pretty quickly. For next week, you'll see that there's a reading called A Colonial Abortion Drama. This is a really dramatic set of readings from court documents from the 1740s in Connecticut about a young woman. I won't give too much away, but she gets pregnant, she's not married, she tries to get an abortion, it ends very, very badly for her. It's a sad story, it's an interesting story, it opens up aspects of colonial life you guys will probably be surprised at. So I want you to write an essay about that, roughly a 5-page essay. The theme of the essay is Who Killed Sarah Grosvenor? That's the woman's name. Who killed Sarah Grosvenor? And show me with evidence from the readings. I'll give you a little more detail on the website about that. A second assignment that will be available to you in the 3rd module is an assignment called Faiths of the Founders. It's presidential season. There's a lot of people going out there saying stupid things about history. In fact, all of them are. Presidential years are hard years for historians, I can tell you that. So what you're going to do is look over a series of documents that I put together as their religious writings from different of the founders, and you're going to write an essay about that. What you'll find is these guys didn't agree with each other, and they didn't agree with themselves a lot of the time. Most of them had long lives, they wrote down a lot, they changed their opinions. Imagine that. A couple other assignments will be possible. As the weather gets a little bit better, there'll be a cemetery assignment. The idea is you pick a historic cemetery, you go to it, you write a paper about the people who are buried there, what they believed, what their lives were like, as far as you can tell, using only the headstones as a primary source. I'll give you more instructions than that. It's a fun assignment, tougher than it sounds like. Another possible assignment will be to go to a museum and do a review of the museum and tell me what's there and how it relates to the textbook. There'll be a couple other possibilities as well. You'll do 2 of these at some point in the quarter. You could do the last 2 at the end of the quarter. What could go wrong with that plan? Or you could do them as they come up. For next week, I'm really encouraging you to take a crack at the colonial abortion drama assignment, and I'll have more stuff up on that about on Monday. So those are the 3 main parts week by week. Every week you'll do the letter. Every week you'll discuss some on the discussion board. Twice during the quarter you'll write a longer essay. There'll also be a comprehensive final. Don't be too frightened by that. The comprehensive final can include, let's say, 20 multiple choice questions and some options for essays. And the essays will be posted ahead of time, a couple of weeks. The essay questions will be posted a couple of weeks ahead of time, or at least a study guide. I might do this essay question, or I might do this essay question kind of thing. If you've been getting a good grade throughout the class, I don't think you'll find the final exam difficult. The final exam will be proctored. There'll be more information on the website about that. What proctored means is you come into Eastern or go somewhere else and have someone observe you take the exam. You show them an ID that you are who you are, and you take the exam in a testing environment. I don't know how else to make sure that the people who are signed up for the class are the ones actually taking it. So there'll be a proctored final exam. Let's see, what else? I'm going over the syllabus here, making sure I talk about everything else. Late assignments. Sometimes you will probably get things in late. My policy is 1/3 a letter grade per day, including the weekend, is marked off of your late assignment. I do this for a couple reasons. If an assignment's done late, well, you still learn the material. I don't want to do one of those 0 on all late assignments policies. That's that's being a petty dictator, in my opinion, with all due respect to your other professors. Having a late penalty that increases each day, it sets the priorities for you to finish the assignment rather than come up with some reason why you didn't finish to me. So if something's late, you don't have to tell me. I know it's late. Just put all your effort into finishing it as quickly as you can. Plagiarism policy. Oh my God, if there's one thing I hate, it's plagiarism. I think you all know what plagiarism is. It's taking somebody else's words and presenting them as your own. Oh, dear child, what I think you should know about the Constitution is, let's see, go over to Wikipedia, cut, paste, drop it in. There you go. It's done. Except that you will get caught. You absolutely will get caught if you plagiarize in here. We're using something called Turnitin. It's kind of a digital snitch that compares whatever you turn in to everything on the internet and everything anyone else has ever turned in to turn it in on any campus in the country. You will get caught. I don't think anybody takes a class planning to plagiarize. It's one of those 1 a.m. decisions. Your papers due the next day, you aren't prepared for whatever good or bad reason. You feel the devil whispering in your ear and you plagiarize. Also, sometimes I think it happens from a bad set of habits some people have for writing. There's something, I wasn't even aware of this till a few years ago, being an old person, having grown up before the internet. Something teachers sometimes call patch writing. Well, I need to write about the Constitution, so I'll take that Wikipedia page, I'll paste it into my Microsoft Word document or whatever, and I'll just change a word here and there till it's different enough. Don't do that. First of all, it's still plagiarism. You're taking somebody else's writing and you're just swapping words out. The point of plagiarism, you're stealing somebody else's ideas. The structure of that essay, the evidence, that belongs to somebody else. If you cut it and you paste it, you're plagiarizing, no matter how much you switch around the verbs and the adverbs and the nouns and stuff. Second of all, you're probably not as good at changing it, excuse me, as you think you are. So you'll very likely get caught. I have a reading in the first week about what plagiarism is. I think it makes it very clear. If you have any questions at all, let me know. If you need something to be late because you're a little bit afraid you're plagiarizing, let it be late. Take that penalty. It's not as bad as plagiarizing because the penalty for plagiarism in this class is an F for the entire class, not just the assignment. You're out of here. It's the nuclear option. So don't plagiarize. I hate it when you do that. Etiquette, well, be nice. Try to write like a grown-up. Try to write like a college student. It doesn't mean looking for the biggest word possible or something like that. It does mean using the shift key for the first letter in a sentence and that kind of thing. You don't come to class in your bathrobe is what I tell people. Communicating with me. If you have a question about the class, anything at all about the class that's not like personal or embarrassing, there's a special course discussion board called Course Policies Questions. If you have the question, someone else does. Answer it there, ask it there, and it'll be answered. There's also a messaging system built into Canvas. Use that for something that's personal. My mom's broke her probation and she's going back to jail. I'm going to be a little bit late with the next assignment or something. That's the kind of thing you don't want to post on the discussion board. Just let me know through the Canvas messaging. You got my email address. Feel free to use that. Office visits. I love talking to students in the office. I'm not keeping regular scheduled office hours this quarter because I'm teaching all online and I've got a lot going on. On the other hand, it's part of my job to be there available to you. So drop me an email, drop me a Canvas message, say, hey, I'd like to come by and talk. And I'm happy to do it. It's not a favor I'm doing for you. It's part of my job. See, virtual office hours. When should I do virtual office hours? I guess I'll start a poll or something in Canvas about that. I'm thinking starting next week, Thursday nights, I'll be on and I'll be in Canvas in the virtual messaging platform and see if anybody shows up. We'll see how that goes. And finally, you can call me. My phone number's on the syllabus too. Other than that, if you're having trouble with the computer, call the office, call the computer help desk. They're experts in computers. I'm an expert in history. Call them, not me. I'd be happy to try to help you, but you should call them. Scary part of the syllabus. Oh, yes. Like I said, I've taught online for a long time. The dirty secret about online teaching is the failure rate. About 30% of students in a survey class like this end up getting a D or an F for just withdrawing. 30%. In the classroom, it's more like 10%. I've thought a lot about this because it bothers me. I consider it a failure on my part when students don't successfully complete the class. It's not that the class is any harder. The assignments, the readings are the same and all of that. I think it's just so easy to forget that you're in an online class. You get busy, you think, oh, I'll do it later, I'll do it later, I'll do it later, and then it's too late. I've noticed before it's a certain kind of student, and it's time to be honest here about it with yourself. Students who usually get C's usually fail an online class. Students who sit in the back and come maybe every 3 times out of 5 to class, or often late. Their assignments are always late, but they manage to eke out a C in the classroom, and that's fine. A C is a perfectly acceptable grade. You get a bunch of C's, you know where you end up, a college graduate. But those same students in an online class often fail. So if that's you, be honest with yourself. Probably you should get out now, see if you can find a classroom section you can get into. Disabilities and accommodations. If you've got something going on where you need some extra help, some extra time, something like that, don't be embarrassed. Let us know about it. There's something called the Disabilities Office. There's contact information in the syllabus about it. A lot of times it's only in college that people with a disability realize what's going on. Dyslexia, for example, makes it difficult to read. The words jump around. You need extra time. You can get your books read to you on tape, things like that. We have an office to help you with that. You have to talk to them first, not to me. They diagnose you. They figure out what a series of reasonable accommodations are. They let me know, and we'll do it. And I have worked with a lot of accommodations over the years with a lot of students. I am happy to help you. This class is for everyone. So that's it. That's History 110. I'm seeing this went 17 minutes. I thought it was going to be 5. Be so happy you're not in the classroom with me. I'm very long-winded. With that, I'll see you online.